guys, Eric Johnner here for Forever Football, your Doncaster Rovers content, and we have the news. Sims is back at the club. #announce Sims. Well, we've got it. We've got the announcement. Obviously the news came out about 5-10 minutes ago now, and wow, just absolutely wow. Love this signing. Great recruitment by Adam Henschel, Gavin Baldwin. Great to bring him back. And just in this particular video, we know the details of the deal. We're going to go over certain facts about this guy that we spoke about during the first loan spell, and share my thoughts on why this is another statement signing like John Bostock, maybe a striker in the next week or so, hopefully, and what other signings have been like as well. So let's like the video if you loved it. Comment down below your thoughts and opinions. I'm getting too excited, man. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more. Click the notification bell so you never miss another video. And for now, let's have a look at Josh Sims. So, this guy, for those of you who didn't know anything about him already, he was on an original first short-term loan spell from the summer, around September time, up until January, around the 16th of January. And obviously he got injured in the last couple of weeks, so we couldn't use him for those last couple of weeks of his loan spell, unfortunately. But what we did manage to do is now get him on a second loan deal. So for those of you who don't know much about this guy, in 2011 he joined the Saints Academy. He's a former England under-17 and England under-20 international level performer. He's 23 years old, which is not a decent. It's decent for. He's only a few years away from his prime, but he's still in his younger years, which is fantastic for development. He's had 2 previous loan spells before the first loan spell at Rovers, at Reading and New York Red Bulls. Now Reading, he made 17 championship appearances back in 2018 as part of the Reading squad, before making the move to the New York Red Bulls in the last season, which saw him secure 1 goal in 10 games. Now, of course, we brought him in at the same time as Matt Smith from Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, and now, of course, at the beginning of this season, we signed him on this first loan spell up until January, and now we've got him secure. Now this is the reason why there's such a massive coup for the recruitment, and this is why it's another massive statement for the club, is the original headlines were being reported over the last few weeks or so that Southampton were going to cash in on this guy. They weren't going to loan him out again. They were just going to cash in on him in January, get the money from him, and go permanently to somewhere else, whether that be us, whether that be QPR, whether that be a different club around the world, whether that be anywhere. Because let's face it, Josh Sims' performances over this first loan spell have told us that he will walk into any asset in world football. I think he could walk into a championship team, he could walk into the French First Division, he could walk into the Bundesliga, he could walk into anywhere. And his performances and the stats do not lie. They do not lie whatsoever. And what's great about it is that Southampton were apparently, there was no negotiations, they were going to cash on him in January, they weren't going to take no for an answer, we're not loaning him out, no. All the people on the coast in the Southampton area were like, no, we're not going to loan him out, we're going to cash in on him, we're going to get the money from him in January, and he can go permanently for a 2-3 year deal somewhere else. What we've managed to do as bearing in mind a League One, potentially Championship next season recruitment team, we've just convinced Southampton to not cash in on a player. We've convinced a Premier League team, believe it or not, that's fighting for top 5 in my opinion. I think Southampton are fighting for top 5, top 6, with the likes of Liverpool, Everton, West Ham, Chelsea, Tottenham, maybe even Arsenal. We've convinced them to not cash in, let us have him on a second loan spell to the end of the season, and then maybe, just maybe, if we go up, we could get this guy on a permanent deal for free in the summer. I mean, you can't say any more praise about this recruitment team. Gavin Baldwin, the CEO, the chairman, David Blunt, Darren Moore, the manager, head of recruitment, Adam Henschel. You cannot say any more praise for these guys. All the praise in the world goes to those people, those brilliant, amazing, heavenly people, those heavenly angels that have been delivered to us from the Lord of Holy Moly and delivered us wonderful signings, recruitments, transfers, and a brilliant season. And I said, as soon as Moore came in, I thought to myself, and I've said this myself, he is, in my opinion, this is a project. It's going to take 1 or 2 years, but it's going to be a project. Stick with it. We're sticking with it. We've gone with it. And I swear to God, we're going for it. We're absolutely going for it. So, my opinion on this transfer is it is a long-term success for the club. Because if, as a fan, and, people could say this is over-ambitious or whatever. I've said this Doncaster Rovers team, this is our best chance to get to the Premier League in the next few years. This is our best chance because we've got a great manager, great board, great recruitment, wonderful set of players, and we just need the promotions now to show for it. And we do it the right way, we could have a belter of a season next season in the Championship. We could have an absolute belter of a season. Doesn't matter whether you're Watford, Norwich, or Rotherham, or Sheffield Wednesday, if they're still in there. It doesn't matter who you are. You could have a wonderful season. I think Hull's going to go back into the Championship this season. I reckon Lincoln's got a shot at the Championship along with us this season. Whether that means Hull wins the playoffs and us and Lincoln go up, a bit of a Yorkshire and Lincolnshire go up together in May, we don't know. But I reckon we'll go up, Lincoln will go up, and Hull will go up in the playoffs. And looking at this season, I think that's probably right. And looking at next season, in terms of the long term of how Josh Sims will perform, I reckon he'll be one of our key assets to sustaining our Championship status for at least another season. Maybe even further. Like I said, we dare to dream. When John Ryan gave this club over to David Blunt, we took that dare to dream asset. And yes, we've had a couple of steps back with a season in League 2 under Darren Ferguson, who got us back up. We might have had that sort of, he handed the club over at the right time, John Ryan. He was a brilliant chairman, one of the best chairman we've ever had. And he handed the club over at the right time. The Watson family handed over their shares at the right time. They're still on the board, though. And they're still ambassadors, for the club. And David Blunt took over that. Yes, took that League 2 step back for a year. But, we now have the right manager and the right coaching team. Coppinger will probably retire at the end of the season. I think he'll be a good coach at this club. I think Darren Moore will probably recruit this guy. And overall, we've got to look at signings like Josh Sims, like John Bostock, maybe a striker in the next week, and the players we've still got here at the club. Richards if he stays, Smith if he stays, Butler, Anderson, Halliday, James, Taylor, Lakilo, John. All these young players and these experienced players are going to be key assets for sustaining our Championship status and daring to dream going forward. So this is another step forward into the Championship and also another step closer to maybe dreaming of Premier League football. And, I think every fan out there for Doncaster wants to see Premier League football at the Chemo, especially if we get fans back in the stadiums. Imagine if we end up getting Premier League football when fans go back into the stadiums for a full season for the first time since 2018-2019 was the last full season with fans in the ground. Imagine if we get back in when we get Premier League football, or we come back in a season where we end up finishing in a place where we get Premier League football, whether that's through the playoffs or through automatic. So we have a real opportunity here to create this long-term project, and Sims is another step forward in the Moore project. So I've got complete and utter confidence in this manager, in the group of players, and especially in the recruitment and the board. And also, especially in terms of players, when we're talking about him today, Josh Flaming Sims. Wonderful winger. His technical ability is spot on. We've seen that during that first loan spell. We saw it at times during Reading and New York Red Bulls and the Southampton Academy. We saw what he can do. We know what he can do. His technical ability is spot on. His winger play is wonderful. He can go for goal. He can assist goals. And he can provide moments to create assists for goals from other players. So he can be a team player and a solo superstar. And that's exactly what we look at. We look for individual great performances in a team effort. And that's what we ask for game in, game out. So Josh Sims, in my opinion, wonderful bring back for the club. Wonderful return for the club, and hopefully in the summer, if we get that Championship promotion, whether it's through the playoffs or top 2 or even just first, the title, the sky's the limit. We could get him on a permanent deal in the summer for free, and that's how good our recruitment team is in getting this deal done. So, looking at the rest of the team for the season, if you think about it, I think for the rest of this season, my first team would be Balcom in goal. It'd be Halliday, Butler, Anderson, James. It'd be Bostock, Smith, Richards at cam. On the wings, I'd have Okenabiri or Taylor. and Josh Sims or Jason Lakilo, obviously substitutes, bearing in mind. But I'd have Okunabiri or Taylor and Josh Sims on the wings. That have that striker up front, whether that's Omar Bogle or whether we can convince Coventry to give us Bakayoko, even if he's not leaving. I think that deal was. I hoped that deal would have been over the line, but we don't know what's happened to it. So, it would have been nice. It would be nice to see Bakayoko still come in, whether that's still an opportunity for him to come to the club. If not, a striker. But of course, if a striker doesn't come yet, it'll be Okunabiri up front, and I've got, I might have my doubts because obviously he's a wide forward, not an out-and-out striker, and it's just square pegs round holes. But with the form, I think he can score a few more. Then I'd have Taylor on the wing then. So without the striker, I'd have Okunabiri up front, Taylor opposite Sims. Then I have, obviously, you've got your bench players like your Jones, John, Amos. John is a backup centre-back, by the way, not a backup left-back. Amos, Williams, Greaves, Ravenhill, Lakilo, Simios is in there, obviously. So, and then we've got bodies available to give game time. And I think when Sims comes in, he will be our first teamer, full stop. So, looking at that team, looking at the bench, looking at the starting 11, with Sims involved, with Bostock involved, and maybe a new striker involved as well, whoever that may be, whether it's Bogle, Bakayoko, or someone else. We will get first place. First or second, that's my bold prediction right now. First or second place, we'll get automatic promotion because we've got a squad and a form table capable of tackling anyone at the minute. So, I've got complete confidence. I hope you guys got complete confidence as well. But that is going to be it for today, guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for Friday because we have a full preview of the Lincoln match at Sinsel Bank being performed on the Saturday. So stay tuned for that preview on the Friday. And for now, guys, my name is Aaron Challoner for Forever Football. And that, my friends, is full time.